I think we all know like the importance of reading, but like no one really like talks about how to actually make it a habit. Like honestly, for me, it's either when I need a time to relax, I come onto the hammock, which is where I'm sitting now, and I just lie down when it's really hot in the day and I can't like do any work because of how hot it is. It's really fucking hot right now. And I'll just read for like until that time is over and I have to go and do something more productive. But most people don't have that like luxury of free time, right? So instead you could just read before bed, and I think that's the best thing to do, is just keep the lights dim. Like what I do is I try and like keep the lights quite dim. I try to avoid like using my screens. Like at 6 o'clock when the sun starts to go down, I'll turn off my phone, my laptop, all those screen things, and then I'll journal for a bit to kind of empty my thoughts out so that my brain is not full of shit when you go to sleep. Because I swear sometimes it's so hard to sleep because your brain just keeps thinking about things. But when you journal the night, like before you sleep, it's like you kind of get all of it out. And the longer you journal, obviously the better, but it's like sometimes it doesn't help, blah blah blah. But like, yeah, okay, just read before bedtime. Honestly, like make it like nice and cozy. Maybe have a cup of tea, or maybe not, maybe like decaffeinated tea or something, because tea has a bit of caffeine, it might fuck up your sleep. Maybe light a candle or something. Just get cozy in bed. Maybe turn the aircon on if it's hot, or turn on a heater if it's cold, and then just like chill out, like relax. Because like reading is like one of the nicest things to do before bed, because it makes your brain like sleepy. Like I don't know if there's like some science behind it, like, but I just feel so much sleepier when I'm reading like a book. That's why like sometimes when I read on the hammock in the day, it's quite dangerous, because then I'll just like nod off and fall asleep. And I just like wake up like in an hour and I'm like, where the fuck am I? You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. And I don't like taking naps during the day, even though people say, oh, it's so good for you, and it's like, bro, I don't like naps. But yeah, reading is just, I don't know, it's the nice thing about it is that like people say like, oh, like if you read a bunch of books but you don't act on it right away, there's no point, that's stupid. But what I've come to realize is that like you don't have to take action on it right away. Like if you read like a book, for example, like Atomic Habits or How to Win Friends and Influence People, you don't have to act on it right away. It's better to read it and store all that knowledge in your brain, because it literally, like, when you read a concept and the concept just makes so much sense, it literally like changes your brain, like the way like the fucking connections or whatever. And so you store that information for later, and then maybe like a few months later you're like, you change the way you act because of that information that you stored from reading a book in the past. I just find that so interesting. Maybe I'll read like a book on like some shit like, I don't know, I need to read books on human psychology, because I really need to know how to manipulate motherfuckers like you. I'm joking. Oh, that's funny. That's class. But yeah, yeah, if you're struggling to like make reading a habit, and you're struggling also with like breaking a different habit, like maybe like you spend a lot of time like mindlessly scrolling on your phone, which is what I used to do, just replace that time with reading and it will literally like be like life changing, I swear. Because like I used to be very mindless. Like I used to have like a video game addiction, and the way that I combated it initially was to play chess instead. But then that wasn't good enough, and I just kind of became addicted to like playing chess on my phone, which is really like annoying. I still play chess sometimes, but it's like, bro, you shouldn't be like, you didn't quit video games just to play games on your phone. So instead I just started reading instead, like as like a entertainment source, because reading is an entertainment source unless you're reading non-fiction and you're actively learning about something that's really interesting, or like something that will like help you in the future, like practical advice, like, oh, how to do the work, or deep work, or fucking, I don't know, sales psychology or something. And yeah, like literally like it all compounds over time. So it's like, sorry, I feel like I've gotten the point across, but if I haven't, say what you don't understand in the comments and I will reply. But yeah, like it's interesting because you can kind of tell when someone reads or doesn't read. Like I swear there was a while ago, like over a year ago, when like reading became like trendy and cute, like a kind of like the Visco girl aesthetic, where it was like the girls with like their fucking cute cups and like plants in their house and shit. But reading like kind of like made its way into there, and it was like, oh, like reading is so aesthetic. Oh, my chicken's done. And because of that, like maybe like it's off-putting, because it's like, bro, like reading shouldn't be like a trend. It should be like a thing that everybody does as a human being, because it's like, bro, there's so much to be learned, there's so much things that can challenge your own beliefs. And I really like I'm posting this, like, bro, last night, okay, I spent a bit of time like watching my old videos, literally just from like 3 or 4 months ago, and I realized like, holy shit, bro, I think so differently now because I read this book and it changed my belief on this thing, and I read this book and it, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really interesting to see the difference in who you are, basically. That's why I feel like maybe you should start a YouTube channel too, so that you can just document that progress. But yeah, I'm gonna go eat some chicken now. Although I feel really full, I should not have drank like a coffee because it had like a bit of sugar in it. And it said no sugar, but then I checked later and it said like 7 grams of sugar. And it's like, bro, what the fuck? No sugar is not 7 grams of sugar. But yeah, I hope you're having a good day, and see you soon.